Hello, welcome to Law Lingo. I'm Cole Larson, and with me today is Serge Ettinger, and today we're going to be talking about pension division. So Serge, when it comes to property division upon divorce, is a pension considered as an asset?
Well, it's a good question, Cole, and the answer is yes. It is considered an asset, just like any other asset upon separation and divorce, such as RSPs or the matrimonial home. In fact, a pension is usually one of the more valuable assets considered upon separation and divorce.
All right. How is the value of a person's pension determined?
Well, assuming we're talking about Ontario-regulated pensions, the spouse who owns the pension would submit an application to their pension administrator, an application for the family law value. The pension administrator would then determine the value of the pension for family law purposes. It's a fairly complex formula, but to simplify things, the pension administrator generally looks at how long the person has been paying into the pension, how long they've been married, and how many years of service they have left until they're eligible to retire.
Okay. What are there different options of division for a spouse?
Generally speaking, there are two main options. Once the pension's valuated and there's a value placed on that pension, the first option is to include that value onto that person's financial statement, along with all the other assets and debts. Once the financial statements are exchanged, the parties would then determine whether there's an equalization payment owed from one spouse to the other. If there is an equalization payment owed, that spouse that owes equalization payment would make that payment through savings or a transfer RSP or a transfer of real property. But the pension itself would remain intact and not touched. The second option would be to divide the pension at source pursuant to the Pension Benefits Act. Up to 50% of the family law value can be transferred to a spouse into that spouse's locked-in RRSP. If the pension owner is already retired, that option is not available. The other option that would be available would be to divide the pension at source so that the other spouse would receive a smaller pension in their own name and start receiving pension benefits upon retirement.
Okay. We'll finish up with one more question. How are the potential income tax consequences dealt with when dividing a pension?
Well, if the pension is divided at source pursuant to the Pension Benefits Act, there's no immediate tax consequences for either spouse. The spouse receiving the pension would simply pay income tax on those benefit payments once they're retired, or on the RRSP withdrawals once they're retired and withdrawing on the RRSP.
All right. That's about all the questions I have here. Thank you very much, Serge. I'm Cole Larson. That was Serge Ettinger, and thank you for watching Law Lingo.
We hope you have found Law Lingo to be interesting and informative. Please feel free to contact us at the number below.